Hello student, welcome to social science class once again. And the last class I was discussing chapter 4 of your geography part. The SEBA board has reduced the different topics from different chapters. Now, according to the last class, today I am supposed to discuss the transport system and all this and the problems or the different types of the transport and the different modes of the transport which are available in state and its development, the problems and all this. The topic has already been cut by the board. You will be informed once the school reopened, and if the school do not reopen by anyhow, you all will be informed regarding the reduction of your syllabus. So, according to the latest syllabus, which the SEBA board has circulated today, according to recent syllabus, this topic it is there. So, resources of Assam. Now, transport system and all this, it is not there. The topic is cut. Now, resources of Assam, this topic we will discuss. Now, Assam is also somehow known for also resources, also known for the rivers. Now, different types of the resources are there in the state. We will see the development, using of the resources, depletion or the crisis. Okay, crisis of all these resources, and the relation between the resources and human, and the relation between the available resources and the overgrowth of population, that also we will discuss in this class. Now, first we will see resources. What is resources? What is a resource? Resource is anything which is useful to mankind. It is called resource. Clear? Now, resource, it is of mainly two types. One is natural resource, then human resource and man-made resource. Now, natural resource, a resource natural, again natural, it is renewable resource, and second one, it is non-renewable resource. Now you see the renewable resource, whatever the resources are there, renewable or the non-renewable, these are the nature gift to us. Clear? And we should not use or exhaust all these resources. If we use, what will happen? The consequences also we will discuss. Now, this natural, one is renewable, another is non-renewable. Renewable it is which renewed again and again. Clear? Forest resource, wind energy, solar energy. Clear? These are renewable. Continuously we can use. Okay, year after year, decade after decade, century after century. Clear? Or millennium after millennium. So, these are renewable resources. The resources which is used again and again, these are called resources, and the same resources will not exhaust in the near future. Now, non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are those resources which once used will not get back, and if continuously used, then in near future all these resources may exhaust or may completely finished. Clear? So this is non-renewable resource. Now these include petroleum, coal, gas, natural gas. These are non-renewable resources. Clear? Now this non-renewable resource, these are mainly deposited beneath the earth's surface. So it is not that over the night under the earth's surface all this non-renewable resource form. It took 100 years to form this non-renewable resource. So while using all this non-renewable resource, so we the present generation should keep in mind the same thing. So we should use judiciously in a planned manner and by following the concept of the sustainable development, then only we can save some of the resource for the future need or to meet the needs of the future generation. The other type of the resource, it is man-made resource. Whatever the problems are there across the, not only in this province, Assam province, across the world also. So the root or the means a very important, one of the important cause of all this problem, environmental problem or the other problems. So it is the overgrowth of population. Now whenever overgrowth of population take place, so what it happens? So human settlement expands. You see the 300 to 400 years ago, the total forest covered area. So now in the last 100 years, so it decreased drastically. The total areas decreased very badly. Why? Because so people are increasing. So population increasing continuously, and as a result, so they also expanding their settlement by clearing or patching up patches of the forest. Now, so we human also made some resources. Now this podium, but with the help or by taking the resources from the nature or things from the nature, human made the different resources. These are called man-made resources. Now this podium, table, desks, benches, these are man-made resource. So how people made all this? So by cutting trees and from the trees taking out the wood, okay, after means going through a number of stages, okay, while preparing. So after going through a number of stages, then only these desks, bench, podium, all these are made. So these are man-made resources. So without taking anything from the nature, so simply people cannot make anything. Now people also cultivate land, and this is the use of land resources. People also create hydroelectric power by using the water resources. Different types of the man-made resources are there. Okay, so nowadays, so morning to evening, from bed to bed, when we get up early in the morning, if you are getting up early in the morning, then it is the correct sentence. Maybe you are not getting up early in the morning, but you should. Okay, early to rise and early to bed. Now from bed to bed, when we get up early in the morning and again when we go at night, so bed to bed, we are dependent on different resources, and mainly nowadays the technology, mobile, you all are also using mobile. This is the virtual class, and And I hope you all are using very nicely, and Government of India recently banned PUBG also. It is a very good news. At least the government is, it is a very good decision. Okay. And I appreciate the move. So, if you are not playing PUBG, then well and good. If you are playing, then it is also a good news. At least your time will be saved. Now, some of the people I saw in my life or in my daily activities, that people are doing the different activities, but parallelly they are busy in their PUBG. So it is not good. So we should always concentrate on a particular thing. So now whatever the things, morning to evening or night, so we use, some are natural and some are man-made resources, and whatever people human-made things are there, these are human-made or man-made resources. Now these man-made resources are also very important. Now here I am taking the class or delivering this class with the help of this podium. Here blackboard, marker, okay, this mic. So these are man-made resources, but with the help of natural resources. So by taking the things from the nature only, so the things or the resources are made. Now, regarding the economic development of the state, Assam, both natural and the man-made resources, both are important. Now, say, Assam have abundant natural resources, but man-made resources not there. Say the sufficient water resources are there, clear, but so to create hydroelectric power by using the water resources, this creating the hydroelectric power, this is man-made, clear. So if this is not done, then economic development will not take place in the state. So for the development of not only the Assam, any region across the world, so importance of both the natural and man-made resources, both are very important. And Assam is highly rich in both the resource potentials, clear. But some of the man-made resources or its development yet to take place. Okay. Now, next we will see the natural resource. The natural resources of Assam are created under its favorable environmental condition, and all regions across the state do not have same environmental condition, and that is why variation of this environmental condition resulted different types of the natural resources available in the state, clear. And some of these resources we will see here, and what are the different conditions which favors the growth of different natural resources. First one is land. Land is essential resource for the biosphere. Biosphere, it is the piece of land where the life form exists. Now, this biosphere, it sustains as land support plants and the animals. Now, in class 9, I think we had a thorough discussion regarding the different types of the soil which are found in Assam. So first one is the alluvial soil, second peatman, then hill soil, then laterite soil. Now based on this or availability of these soils, so different natural resources are grown across the state in different areas. Now alluvial soil, it is of again two types, new alluvial, old alluvial. New alluvial, it is the mainly the flat plain, which means because of a river or when the water level of the river rises, so it creates flood, and this results so recharging of the soil. I say recharging of the soil. So this is new alluvial soil. Now this alluvial soil, these are very important and suitable for the cultivation and growing of crops, different types of crops, say rice, jute, pulses, vegetables, the vegetables throughout the day, month by month, decade by decade, the vegetables what we all have been consuming, so mainly grown in this alluvial soil. Now based on this availability of different soils, different types of the soil, the four I said, alluvial soil, peatment soil, hill soil, and the laterite soil. So different types of the natural resources are available in the state. Now next it is forest. Assam is also rich in forest resources, and but compared to other states, Assam is still poor in forest resources. Whatever the resources, forest resources are available in the state, we should protect all these, and if mercilessly, inhumanly, unjudiciously, if all these are cut down or cleared, the patches of the forest land, and in the very near future, so we all are to face the consequences. So the different types of the forest, which includes tropical evergreen forest, tropical semi-evergreen forest, riverine forest, tropical moist deciduous forest, tropical dry deciduous forest. These are the different types of the forest, and different types of the trees, bamboos, grasses are found in all these types of forest. Say the riverine forest, mainly the adjacent side of the river, okay, and these are wetland, okay, wetland. So in all those areas, so this riverine forest are developed. So because of the continuous extension of the human settlement resulted curtailing of these forest areas. Clear? So now next we will see the mineral resource. Assam is also rich in mineral resource, and some of these are we will see. Assam known for its mineral oil, which is liquid gold, and the first oil exploration, it was done in Digboi, and the Digboi oil field, it is the oldest in Assam. No, it is the oldest oil field in India. So it was during British period when the British occupied Assam or took Assam into their hand. So it was because of their initiative that the first oil field, it was found and the exploration started by the British. Now besides this Digboi, the other oil field are Lakwa, Geleki, Borhola, Amaguri oil field. Now, natural gas is also found in the most part of the oil producing area, and some of these are Rudrasagar, Moran, Lakwa, Nahar Katia oil field. Assam produces 25% of the India's total production of natural gas. And recently in Borakbeli, Kachar district saw one gas exploration site, and the particular name of the area it is Dhaneori. So now Oil India is started exploring the gas there. Next resource it is coal. Now it is also important mineral resource of Assam, and the Assam coal contains the more sulfur. Now what is the use of the coal? This coal, it is used for local rail, water transport and generating electricity. Now where these coal are mainly found? So coal is found in Makum region of Dibrugarh, Dili Jaipur region of Dibrugarh, Shivsagar district, Charaipung, Tarajan region of Tinshukia, Kaliajan, Silbeta region of Karbi Anglong district, Umrangchu, Gorampani region of Dima Hasao district. So this is all about the coal. Composition of the coal, you are right. So it contains the coal which found in Assam, it contains more sulfur, and the areas where the coal resource is found in the state, that also you have to write. Now next it is limestone. It is also found in the two hill district of Assam. So it is Kaliajan, Manja region, Dilai hill, and also in the Panimur, Dilai hill, and the Shilbeta region in the eastern part of the Bukajan of the Karbi Anglong district, and also the Panimur, Gorampane, Tumbur, and the Umrangchu region of the Dima Hasao district. So these are the areas where the limestone are found. In the other minerals which are also found in the state, these are ore, feldspar, quartz, and the clay mineral. So and found in the Chandardinga, Lengupara, and the Kumri region of Gwalpada. So these are the different areas where the different types of the mineral resources are found. Now next resource here we are to go, it is water resource. I said many a times also that Assam is also known for the rivers. So a number of rivers and their tributaries are there, Borak river and Brahmaputra river, and number of tributaries are also there, okay, of the same two Borak and the Brahmaputra rivers. Now these two rivers form, while discussing the physiographic unit, so we already came to know that how the Borakbeli and the Brahmaputra valleys were formed. So now the water resources are used not only for cultivation, okay, land cultivation, so also used for generating electricity and all these. So if water resources, the present water resources used very scientifically, so then Assam can enjoy its water resources. Now next it is that in the plain groundwater level exists within a range of 5 meters from the surface. Groundwater mainly in the town areas, people are dependent on underground water. Though the content of quantum of this iron is also there in the underground water, so that is why sometimes this underground water is also not very useful for human or for drinking purpose. Now, in spite of this available water resources in the state, surface or the groundwater resources, they are yet tapped and utilized as desired level. So now there are yet to tapped and utilized at desired level. It means that the available water resources are not utilized at desired level. I said, so for generating hydroelectric power by using the water resources available in the state, so Assam can produce surplus electricity, and by producing the same, so Assam can gain the profit. Next we will see the human resources. So human resources, population, overgrowth of population has become a burden of the state. Now it not only increases the countings, but it creates number of problems. So what are the problems that I said? That the number of forest areas, okay, so the forest areas also comes under human settlement, and the other problems are also there. Number of problems. Close your eyes and think, if the continuously population increases, then what will happen, and what are the different problems will take place. So now 35% of the total population, or more than 10 million people of Assam, are in the age group of 15 to 34 years. I am also included in this group, and you all are also included in this group. So it is certainly good that the youth is dominating the Assam population. Now this youth, how to use by the state government or by the society, this depends the future of the state. Now human resources, it is that now Government of India recently renamed the HRD ministry Human Resource Development Ministry. So how to develop for that the one ministry? It is there, and the same ministry, it has been renamed as now Ministry of Education. So by giving education of the requisite skill and the training to the people, and mainly the youth, then the same people will work for their livelihood, and as a result this will lead to the growth of the state economically, socially, culturally. So human resources, or the people who are skilled, trained, educated, so with their contribution economically any region can achieve its development. Now it is not that with this skill and all this, but besides also that, now weaker section of the people, especially the poor communities, differently disabled person and the women should also empower, not only the men. All people should empower, all people should be given. So skill, training, empowerment, power, clear. So then only the society can progress, then only society can move forward, clear. So after that only we can achieve the all-round development, socio-economic and the cultural development. So while achieving the economic development, we should not forget our culture also. Culture is also very important. Now with this resource topic it is finished. Now the crisis of natural resources. What are the different crises? Now natural resources are essential for sustaining the existence of the mankind as well as the standard of living. And natural resources, it is also important for maintaining the ecological balance also. It is also important for that. So for our living, we should not and we cannot mercilessly destroy the environment. If we do the same, then we have to face the consequences. Now, these natural resources, these are nature gift to us. And this gift, anyhow or by any means, we are to protect. Now, there is a misconception in the society and among the people that it is a nature's gift and we should use in a very unplanned way or haphazard uses. That we should not do. Now we will see that if we do, what are the problems that will arise? Number one, resources get polluted and damaged. Resource becomes scarce. Severe environmental and the socio-economic problems arises. Natural resources are degraded not by human factor but also natural factor, but human factor is more important. Okay. The influence of human factor is more as compared to the natural factor. Natural factor is that the environment gets polluted, damaged sometime by the volcanic eruption or the landslide. Okay. And cyclone, these are the natural factor, but human factor is more important. It creates more impact. Okay. Now, if these resources are not protected or saved, so what will happen? So resources will degrade day by day, and as a result, so we will not get the quality resources, and at last in the very near future we are to face the different problems or the consequences. Now, how all these are resources and how to save and to protect all these resources, that we will see. And that so how these resources are being degraded or exploited, or some of the resources or the different species are in very vulnerable or the endangered species. So it is because of the expansion of human settlement. So the different types of the forest that I said, okay, tropical evergreen forest, tropical semi-evergreen forest, tropical moist deciduous forest, riverine forest. So these are the different types of the forest. So these forest areas are coming under the human settlement. It is because of the continuous growing of the population. Now, all these resources, if exhausted, then we have to face the problem. So human activities and the growth of population are mainly responsible. Now presently dimension or the people's economic activities has day by day increasing, and the process of urbanization and industrialization in the state have progressed gradually, and as a result what happened? So directly or indirectly, so the impacts of the same falls on natural resources. If this urbanization and the industrialization continues its process without planning, then obviously we are to face the problem. Now, it has been realized that the natural resources of the state, it should be utilized very properly, and rationally, judiciously, in a very planned way by conserving all these resources, and most importantly by maintaining a balanced ecology. If all these are not done or achieved, then the severe consequences we are to face in the very near future. So I said that the natural resources, it is of different types. Say for this renewable resources, so no problem at all. So these resources will get renewed again and again after its use. But regarding the non-renewable resources, okay, so on whom we all are dependent, so then we are to face the problem. So that is why from today onwards, whatever the non-renewable resources we all are using, so we should use very judiciously. Not only non-renewable, whatever the resources we are using, we should not use all these resources unjudiciously or mercilessly. We should use all this in a planned and a very scientific way. So if we start practicing, so somehow we can save some of the resources, and as a result, so this will be very helpful for our near future and the future generation to meet their needs. Other than this, government should also take the different steps of, though government is taking of course, so different step to conserve and to save all these resources. If these are not done, then so we are to face the problems. So with this, the topic is over, and I shall continue the same chapter tomorrow, in my next class. And the next topic it is, as per the recent circulated or given syllabus, economy of Assam. Economy of Assam I shall continue and discuss in my next class. So whatever I have discussed today, you read well at your home. Enjoy this class. If you face any problem, without any hesitation, call me every night. I shall solve your all problems. This is all about the day's discussion. Thanks to all.